Cool, man. All right, so I think we're live, bro. So hopefully this thing works correctly. Yeah, so we're going to go over Psalms 101. I keep saying Psalms. Psalm 101. And it's a Psalm of Is it Psalm? Do we say Psalms? Because obviously it's like plural
I
and
think
it gets
so.
kind of
Yeah.
stuck. Yeah, yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. Um, all right, dude. So a Psalm of David, Psalms 101, a prayer for help to walk a blameless path, to live with integrity. Both our efforts and God's help are necessary. So I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the works of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. And my notes say that this is kind of like in the earlier part of his kingship. So he was probably just filled with the vigor and just like a can do attitude, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just young and ready.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, the time to do it, rather than wait until something falls apart. Try
Oh,
to
yeah.
have your plan and then work your plan.
Yeah. He's probably like, I'm going to be so much better than Saul.
Yeah.
I'm. We had old management and this is new management. So we're,
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall to the same things as him, kind of thing. Um, yeah. So I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when will thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. That is a good start if you're gonna start something.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because mercy and justice are viewed as complete opposites,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't have mercy if you don't have justice. Like
Yeah,
otherwise you're just, and then so you got to have both. Trying to
yeah.
see so
What are you trying to? You trying to share something?
no, I'm not that smart. um I was going to read something. So Martin Luther apparently,
Oh, nice.
yeah, old Martin back in 1500s, he wrote, I want to read it. I just found a little
Yeah.
snippet from this thing, but he read like or wrote like an 80-page not documentary, commentary on Psalm 101, which is
Oh,
crazy. Like to write 80 pages by hand, back then. But
yeah,
the whole idea was there there was a lot of like leaders that just weren't doing good, um,
yeah,
whether it was in Europe or mostly Europe. So he wrote this doc or commentary on Psalm 101 as sort of a handbook for Christian rulers, like practically.
oh,
And
nice.
because when I read Psalm 101, it struck me as like these could be applied in different ways, but for your family. Like, so we went
Yeah,
through this last night with the kids, and some of them have like an application where like we don't allow certain friends to come over. Why is that? Because they have a froward heart, or something like
oh,
that.
nice. That's good.
Um,
I like that.
so yeah, so you read through this, and there's an application of like practically president of the United States or your congressman or your policeman or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, just like David was doing it But then also there's the like a spiritual application for us. You know, who do we allow into our circle of influence? But
Yeah.
yeah, so this is one little snippet that I found from Martin Luther, and it made me want to read the whole thing.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it. All right.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. This is also what the heathens say on the basis of daily experience. Strict justice is the greatest injustice. The same may also be said of mercy. All mercy is much worse than no mercy at all. A father cannot do a more unfatherly thing than for his child than to spare the rod and let the little child have its own way. With such stupid affection, he is finally raising a son for the executioner, who afterwards will have to raise him in another way, namely with a rope on the gallows. Moderation is good in all things. To achieve it is an art. Indeed, it is a matter of God's grace. Like, how
Yes.
cool is that? How good is that?
Yeah. That guy's laser focused. He didn't know
Yeah.
like TV back then. He
Yeah.
probably wrote really, really nice cursive, you know. Yeah. No, that's really good. What did it say? It said some mercy is better than no mercy or something like that. I think it said so, or what was those justice and mercy? What was the justice one and the mercy one? What was that? It said like I think it was like the second.
Strict justice is the greatest injustice. The same may also be said of mercy. All mercy is much worse than no mercy at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Which,
he's
you know,
basically saying don't be on both extremes, basically. Like don't be an extreme on both sides.
yeah.
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 You gotta be somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Moderation. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm I'm blessed or cursed, I don't know which, to see a lot of kids and parents like in my job. I'm
Yeah.
probably, I think like 60-70% of my patients are kids. And so I see a lot of parents, we'll just call them like the mercy parents. They're super nice. Everything is like a negotiation with their 2-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of the justice parents anymore, like the hardcore, like sit there. But I think they also don't have to enforce it a lot. Like those kids just sit, they're polite, respectful.
Yeah.
But ideally you've got a little bit of both.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, the kids will definitely test you. That is really good, dude. I like how Martin Luther wrote that. I wonder. I mean, I guess that's just what. I mean, do you think he considered himself like an author, or like some guy that's like, hey, I'm gonna write something, and everyone's gonna know about it? Kind of like how do you think his approach to it? It'd be like you just writing this like. You said it was 100 pages. How long was it?
Yeah, it was 80 pages.
Yeah, dude. I mean, do you think you would ever write something like that and then just kind of know that this is what I'm gonna push out? You know? I
Yeah,
mean, I
it'd be
guess if there's
interesting.
something like that you were gonna do,
Yeah.
this is the book to do it with, you know?
Yeah, I don't know when he wrote that as far as what point in his ministry. But I mean, Martin Luther at some point, everything he wrote was going to get distributed, you know, amongst his followers and then spread out. And a lot of his stuff, because he was such a hot, like he was on the run, like there was bounties out for him. So if he released something, you know, it would immediately go to the top. Like, look what the guy said, you know, trying to keep him, the king or whoever was after him, mad at him, you know. So his little minions would be like, look at this new piece of whatever he wrote. And so, yeah, I mean, I have a feeling everything he wrote, he pretty much knew it was going to go around. I don't think he knew it would still be around in 2025, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that is yeah, I'm sure everybody was like, oh snap, Martin Luther just dropped a new letter. Everybody
Yeah.
get to the nearest calligrapher.
Yeah.
You know.
Get a
Like,
copy. Get a copy.
yeah. Oh, he's just in the Catholic Church again. What?
Yeah.
And so that's good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, parenting is one of those things that will definitely test you in ways that you never thought you could be tested.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
um, so I
It's
was
hard
sitting
too in
over
the
there
moment.
seeing, yeah,
It's hard too in the moment, but it's very important, whether it's like you and your wife or just you, when you have an incident where things went a way you didn't see them going, whether it's
yeah,
like you lose your temper or she loses her temper, or
yeah,
kid runs away from home for 2 weeks or whatever. It's important to take a couple deep breaths and figure
yeah,
out
dude.
what went wrong.
Oh, for sure.
um, and most of the time, of course, it's always the kid's fault, but when it's always the kid's fault, it's also usually your fault too. um,
Yeah,
so it's yeah.
yeah. One thing that Marjorie tells me, and it's always like a check on me, and it's just probably my learning style. I probably have to be just like told, to my face. But she's like, you're not really in control of your emotions if you have to yell. And I'm just like, okay. and so, and so I don't always do this, but like, if I, it's weird too, right? If you yell, sometimes it'll just go through one ear out the other. But if you like, be like, here, come here, and not
Hmm.
whisper it, but just say it like in a lower tone to where they have to like really listen, they'll listen better by you just talking like a little bit lower than normal because they
Yeah.
have to like focus on your hearing versus you just being like blah, and then there's a show called Daniel Tiger. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but like cartoon version. And he's always, it's really big about like emotions and stuff like that. So the one that's always kept me, it's actually like helped me. It's like it goes, if you're feeling mad and you want to roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. So I'm just like, if I get angry, I'm just like, rawr. And I just start counting. But I'm just like, adults should really watch this show because it's like really good when it comes to like
Yeah.
managing your emotions. And um, I don't know. It's just it's good. It's like, at what point in time do we stop? With the basic emotional things.
Yep.
But that's really good, man. Yeah, I mean, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way, O Lord. Oh, when wilt thou come on to me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. And obviously, knowing his future, this is a really good heart posture. I mean, at least, I mean, he's trying to start out this way.
Hmm.
And it might not always go that way, like the whole time, but I think just having this as your standard or having this as like your goal, I think it's a really good place to at least start. And then I like how the rest of it he actually puts legit things where like a legit pitfalls where he kind of knows
Hmm.
what he's dealing with or what he wants to make sure that he's on high alert for, which is good. Just being self-aware.
Yeah.
Marjorie and I were talking about last night, just being like how much of a blessing it is to just be self-aware,
Hmm.
to like understand what you need to work on and kind of what your pitfalls as a person is versus some people have no idea that they're a certain way. And so they can't really like they don't know how to change, you know what I'm saying? Or they don't know like what their weaknesses are.
Hmm.
Um like I think verse 3 says, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes, which I guess that was like the first thing he wrote, which obviously we know about Bathsheba.
Yep.
So it's like that's really
Well, I think,
interesting.
yeah, I think back then, well, and nowadays too, but back then, kings were not probably known for their promiscuity. It's like you
Yeah,
you think of like the story of Ahasuerus when he kicked out Vashti, his queen, and
yeah,
when you're growing up in Sunday school, they don't go into the details, but in order for him to pick a wife, he had all the girls in the kingdom brought into his palace. And then
I
every
know.
night,
Yeah.
he was going to find the one that he liked. So, and that wasn't like a sin. Well, it was, but like that wasn't called out. It's like, you can't do that. He's like, I'm the king. I can do whatever I want. So that's kind of the atmosphere that kings, or that
Yeah.
David's, rising to power. Um, and he's like, no, I'm not going to be one of those kings. And then he ends up still having multiple wives and whatever. But
Yeah.
I think it's important too to remember that you can have a standard for yourself
Yeah.
that's higher than you can meet
Mhm.
100% of the time.
Yeah. That's
But
really good.
it's that's the point, is to have a standard that's higher than you. And even
Yeah.
if you're not hitting that goal, um, it doesn't make you a hypocrite that you call yourself higher. It just means that you're a man, that you're weak. Um,
Yeah.
so it's good that he has had that goal.
No, 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 for sure. And like, verse 3 is like, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. They shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. And he's like, I mean, I know I harp a ton about my heart, like a ton. And I just like how David's like focus on that, because I know in the word, I forget where it says, but it says like, I've been really contemplating on like, it's not what goes inside the heart that defiles a man, but what comes out.
Hmm.
And when Paul is saying that, it's like all these people are getting hung up on the actual whatever, but he's like, no, it's what comes out. And so he's definitely focused on his heart, because I mean, obviously he knows this, that whatever comes out is kind of like who we are to an extent. So if your heart's all jacked up, nothing good's going to come out of that.
Yeah.
Versus having like a clean posture, or like a good foundation for where your heart's starting. You can build off of that. You know.
Yeah. Well, back in verse 2, he talks about a perfect heart. And then verse 4, he talks about the froward heart. Um, One thing that, back to verse 2, I told the kids and Caitlin, I was like, verse 2 would be a really cool verse to print out and like put on your wall somewhere, like get it on a little
Yeah.
plaque. And the first time I read that, the first part, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. That's a cool verse to like have in your hallway, or something
Yeah.
like that. And then the last part, I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. Like, oh, that's cool. You put it over your doorway or something like that. Then the middle part, oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I don't want to say it doesn't fit, but it's like, I don't know if I want to put that on the plaque. Like what
Yeah.
exactly does that mean? And I feel like there's two applications for that. One, and actually Joel pointed this out, and I was very
Oh
impressed with
wow.
him. I said, what do you think that means? Like, why is David asking, oh, when wilt thou come unto me? And because I'm thinking, like, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man open, I'll come in and sup with him, like fellowship. Like, come on in,
Yeah.
let's hang out and fellowship.
Yeah.
And I think that's one application. What Joel said is he's asking the Lord to come in and punish him if he's doing wrong, so they can have a better relationship. I
Yeah.
was like, that's really profound. And I don't know what David was asking. Um, but either one of
That
those
is
is
really
good.
good.
Like you should be in a relationship with the Lord to the point where you're asking him, search me, try me, see if there be any wicked way. But
Dude,
also, let's just hang out. I want to be closer to you.
100%, man. That's the crazy part about it, bro. Is like I just feel like, so that part right there where you're talking about like search me, um, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way, or when will thou come on to me? Um, I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. Like that, I feel like I'm just getting to the place now where I've just realized that God wants us to be shaped into his image, but that takes so much work. And
Hmm.
obviously he's doing it, but like I'm not saying I hate this part about how people preach. I mean, it's definitely not a bad thing, but I feel like sometimes we preach and it's like oh, it's all hunky dory. There's a rainbow at the end of like the road, and like there's all. But I'm like, no, dude, this is a book of suffering, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This book 100% is a book on suffering. This book is gonna cut your flesh off. You're gonna have to die to yourself daily. You're gonna have to ask God, hey Lord, what is wrong with me? And whatever is wrong with me, I want you to just take it out of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's so, I mean, God's so wonderful for the fact that like he wants to make us sons, and he wants us to be less corrupt and like more mercy filled, and there's just all these things, man. But like, you know, um and not only does he want to do all that, but he wants us to do it with a good heart, like with a joyful heart. You know what I'm saying? With a serving or humble heart. And it's a religion that we do that's like it's. I mean, we gotta do work. I mean, obviously there's work outside, but I'm like a lot of it's just like being self-aware and just kind of like help, like letting you conform into the image of Christ, whatever we call it. But yeah, man, like it's not this. I can do whatever I want. uh i'll do my I'll do what I think I need to do. I'll talk to
Yeah.
the Lord just whenever I feel like it or whenever I'm around to it. And it's like, no, man, like this is a legit 100% in-depth relationship. This is a 100% life-changing event to where you're conforming to the holiness of God, to the point where you're starting a relationship on earth that will eventually turn into like all eternity. But it's like a big deal, man. It's a huge deal. And I think we walk our day-to-days in these streets like it's not a big deal sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that God in the Bible, he describes, once you're saved and you become a Christian,
Yeah.
you're called a son of God, and then also we are considered the bride of Christ.
Yeah.
And you're, a husband-wife relationship is difficult at times.
Yeah, dude.
You have like
Yeah.
these highs, you have these amazing times, like great. You also have, if the relationship's going to make it and be strong, it's a ton of work on both
Yeah.
parties. So that's one. The other one is you're a child of God, you're a son of God. It is not
Yeah.
easy to be a good son.
Yeah.
It takes, I don't want to do that, but I'm going to do it because he told me to do it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's critical to know like how God describes the Christian life. And
Yeah.
it is not like I am this spoiled trust fund kid that never even met my grandpa, but I'm inheriting all this money. No, like,
Yeah.
it's a two-way relationship that you have to cultivate on both ends.
Yeah. And what's crazy too, like when you cultivate that relationship, it's crazy how all this stuff is for your benefit.
Mm,
Like the other day I was thinking about that, like how do I change my mind to like enjoy righteousness? And it's like all this stuff, like why is it hard for me to be like I will set no wicked thing before my eyes? Why is that hard? I will hate the work of them that turn aside, it shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Like, why
mm,
are these things so difficult, dude? They are, bro. They really are. Like it is. Those things are hard. And you would think just reading this book, it's like, why do I struggle with these things? Like, why did David, who, went some deep mountaintop moments with God Almighty, um, like why did he struggle with this? And it's just crazy how much like our flesh is against the spirit, and it's that much of a battle. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It really is. It's a battle, dude.
yeah,
And this is what's crazy too, right? This is what I just thought about. It's only a battle if you're trying to fight. It's like those people that say, typically, if you're worried about being a good parent, you're probably a good parent because good parents don't worry about those things. Like if you're worried about being a good parent, it's like that's on your conscious or that's on your psyche. So chances are, if you're worried about that, you're typically a good parent. Whereas like if you're not fighting your flesh daily and it's not like actual work, chances are you're not fighting your flesh at all anyway. You're just kind of going with the way of the world, you know?
yeah. It takes intention and some forethought, if that's the right word.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's why you have to have like, I think that's why church is good. I think that's
Dude,
why,
yeah, I was just
you
about to say
know,
that. You got your
brothers and
boys.
yeah, I mean, it's like your physical, you're going on a Sunday morning. And it's like, your heart's not right. You've got things in the way. That's why I like doing these with you in the morning. Um,
Yeah,
stuff like that, because otherwise you can go a long time and, it's like not getting blood work. You're just like, I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know. I'm probably okay, but you know,
yeah. Well, what's cool about these things is if like I have somebody that I do it like 3 days, you could see them like kind of like in the gym. You see like their first day and they're like they're stretching the muscles, but by day three, bro, they're like bench pressing like 185. They're just like and like we have these muscles, dude. Like
yeah,
they're there. You just got to
yeah,
kind of use them a little bit, you know. And it's cool to see people kind of have that progression of like they have all this knowledge. I mean, they do have like I mean, everyone I talk to has known the Bible to an extent pretty good,
yeah.
and it's just cool seeing, you know. And then I have noticed this too, like as we talk about this, like my recall on scripture is so much better.
Hmm.
Like my recall, you know, because we're talking about it, we're in depth going through it, we're kind of telling what we think about whatever, but like I can pull stuff so much more now because it's just like a daily thing now. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's exciting because I've always had trouble with just remembering stuff. You know, Gavin's mind is insane, dude. That Joker can read something one time. It's like 10 verses, and he like knows 80% of it. I'm just like, dude, that's awesome. Like if I had 10% of that, you
Yep.
know. But I'm glad you got 100% of it. You know.
Right. You're welcome.
Yeah, I did tell him
You
the other
are
day.
welcome.
It was so funny because he was talking about something, and I was like, dude, you're pretty lucky, bro. I hooked you up, man. You got some good genes, dude. I
Yeah.
was like, you know, so it's just funny. Um, and so, yeah, so a froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Do you think this is just him kind of like figuring out his like parameters of having his like not his cabinet, but just kind of like his main people, and he's like, I don't want one wicked person in my group, not one.
Yeah. I mean, I think he had you didn't go talk to a king unless you were invited. And so, um, and even then, like if you just showed up, he had to, extend his scepter or whatever to even say like, all right, you can come on in and talk to me. If he didn't, they would just take you out and cut your head off. So he had the ability to do that, like literally. I don't have to know a wicked person. If I start getting the inclination that you're a wicked person, like I'm either going to kill you or just you're gone, and I'm never going to invite you back.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's harder for us to do that in 2025 because we don't have that same whatever. But I think the principle is really important. Like
yeah,
for what I was explaining to the kids is like one of the roles of the parent is there might be one of your friends or somebody that where we know more about them or we know more about their family, and we're going to set boundaries up where you can't help but see them at school, but we're not going to invite them over. You're not going to go to their house. Just stuff like that.
yeah,
um, but I think they also see that in your life. Like I try my
yeah.
hardest not to bring my kids around people that I know are going to be cursing a lot.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, if you want to curse in front of your kids, that's fine. But my kids, like, I'm sorry, you're going to invite me over for dinner, and I'm just going to say no, thank you. Um,
yeah,
and it sets a precedent. I think my kids are way too young to understand that. But as they get older, and I explain to them, it's all about influence. I don't want that influence coming into my family. Um, and
yeah,
then you get into the whole like, well, you can't protect them forever, and it's like, yeah, but I can protect them when they're 5, and I can
yeah,
protect them when they're 7. And so,
yeah,
yes, I grew up in a very, if you want to call it sheltered, whatever, but you build that character, and then when like I went to public college, it's like I'm not like, oh my goodness, I'm here, like let me just go fall off the deep end, because hopefully by then you've got 17 years of character building if you've done
No,
your job.
100%. Yeah, I
So
was telling my buddy the other day, just about like homeschooling and kind of like some of the nice things about it. And I was just saying that I was like, yeah, man, like you're not like what crazy social experiment that we do when we're like all everybody from society throws all their kids from like all these different demographics into just this big pot and think, oh yeah, this is gonna go well. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
yeah, yeah. What could go
um,
wrong?
yeah. This is cool. So this is talking about verse 2. Yeah, verse 2 is a good one. It says David isn't talking about how he looks in public. He's talking about the home life, the real you. You know, behave myself wisely, intentional living, perfect way, wholehearted devotion, walk within my house, integrity when no one sees, perfect heart, sincerity, purity, consistency. And it says David knows there's no public righteousness without private discipline. Leadership starts at home. Holiness starts in secret. And I was just like, well, that's good. You know, just like, you know, how are you behind closed doors kind of thing.
Yep.
Um, no, that's really good. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Um, oh man, a froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. I mean, that's almost kind of like the judgment to an extent.
Hmm.
You know, it's like,
Depart from me, I never knew you.
yeah, because your heart's all jacked up, which
Yeah,
is like mind blowing, you know.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, and I've thought about it so much. Like, why is the heart such a big deal? Like, why is that like?
Hmm.
And I think what I've realized is like, to an extent, that's kind of who we really are. It's like who we are in our soul to an extent. Like, and it's like that's what God's trying to mold. I mean, He's giving us His Spirit. He's giving us His Word. He's giving us the ability to pray with Him, and these are all ways to shape, like, you know, who we are. And if we shape that, it kind of comes out, you know. Um, yeah.
Well, and I'm thinking too of, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately
Oh, for
wicked.
sure, dude. Yeah,
So it's like
100%.
we talked about. I am so humble this week. When you think you're doing something right, and it's like you're reading into it, and this is why, like, I'm always you have to be careful. Like you have like that spiritual high, if you want to. I hate
Yeah,
that term, but like, you know what I mean.
yeah,
And then right around the corner, you and your wife will start arguing about something stupid, you know?
yeah,
And so
yeah,
it's like, he that, take heed lest ye stumble. But you get to a point where I picture David before the Bathsheba incident. He probably had just finished writing Psalm 48. He was like
yeah,
up there and he was like, this is a great Psalm and I've got a perfect heart. And your heart is so deceitful. And then the next thing you're staring at Bathsheba, sending your servant to go bring her in. It's like, so yeah, the heart is you, like, your affections and your desires. And so you can be on the Lord one day and then boom, you slip and fall and
yeah.
so you've got to be careful.
No, that's really good. No, that's really good. Um, this is good too. It's like, whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and proud heart will I not suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. Man, this is so crazy. Like the parallels,
Yeah.
of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, man, it's crazy to think that, like, obviously David had the Holy Spirit when he's writing all this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's got the Spirit upon him and he's just walking. And I'm just like, it's got to be so wild to be like, I wonder if he ever like wrote something. He's like, whoa, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is fire. You know what I'm saying?
I think the perfect example is Psalm 22. That the whole chapter in and out of it is Jesus Christ being crucified. And I just
Yeah,
know, like, when David's writing that, and it's like, the bulls of Bashan compass me. And he's like, he writes it down and he's like, Lord, what in the world? You want me to leave that in there? And, the angel or the Lord's like, no, leave it in there. They gnash on me with their teeth. And he's like, well, they've never done that to
Oh,
me.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's cool, like the part about verse 5, the high look and a proud heart will not I suffer, is he passed that down to Solomon, because over in Proverbs 6, these 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination. And the first one is a proud look and, lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. So the first 2 things that Solomon, puts an X on are a proud look and a lying tongue. And that's what he's talking about here. Someone who slanders or lies, and then a high look and a proud heart.
Yeah.
So kind of gives you an idea of what the Lord can't stand, is pride and kind of that haughty spirit.
And it's so easy to see that, like, as with your kids,
Mm-hmm.
Like when they walk around with like their chest out and you're just like, you have no idea, bro.
Yeah.
You have no idea, yeah. That's so funny.
I won't bring up any names, but we have a child who struggles with this.
Yeah.
And I, not in a mean way, but I remind them that not very many years ago, they were wearing a diaper. And I say it in love, but I also say it, don't, I'm your dad. Don't be telling me what to do or what I did wrong with this condescending attitude, because, just a few years ago I was changing your diaper. So let's just get that out of the way. And, I think the Lord has the same, he puts up with us and he's long suffering, but he looks down at us and we're questioning him, or we're correcting him, or we're giving him strong suggestions about what he did wrong. And he's like, man, I literally formed you out of dust. Not many days, just a few days ago or a few years ago.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Let me hear what you have to say.
Yeah. No, that's so funny. Yeah. That is funny. Yeah, I've got some kids like that. They're just, recently Gavin's been like, he's like, look, daddy, look, I can do my plank for like 2 minutes. He's like, check out my abs. And I was like, yeah, dude, they're getting pretty good. He's like, yeah, they're hard. I'm like, get out of here, bro. Like, get out of here.
Boy. He's just a boy,
yeah,
man.
dude. Yeah. And I'm just
we all do that. We still do that. So
yeah. I think the funniest thing is, like, my biceps, and I'll just go up to Marjorie in she's kitchen or when she's cooking, and I'll just like, hey, tell me about it. Does my arms feel pretty decent? I just feel it. She's like, get out of here. I'm not pumping up your ego anymore. I just need a little compliment. Just give me a little compliment. You know what I'm saying?
All she's got to say is, yeah. I mean, you can live on that for a week. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's so funny. Who so privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off, him that hath a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Yeah, man. And clearly his neighbor in this passage is like somebody who's like friendly. Like, this is not like his enemy. This is like, like I don't want people around me that are going to talk bad about their friends or their associates that are, or just, close people.
Yeah.
I guess to an extent, bro, this is like a really good like section on like boundaries to an extent. Like, David's setting the tone of like, listen, this is what I'm all about right now. This is how my house is going to be.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's where people get in trouble, is they want to show the love of Christ, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you need to, and you better. But within your house, it's like, I'm going to behave myself wisely. Are you going to be able to do that if you have people in and out of your house that are not wise? No. Can I eliminate those people from my daily walk when I'm at work, when I'm out in public? No, of course not.
Yeah.
But I can throw up a wall and not let them in my house. And then I like what he says too with verse 6. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful land that they may dwell with me. I don't think he's talking about people in his house. So now he's talking like the people that are around him. So
In
it's
his
like a
community.
it's like a holy homeowners association. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even if I can do it, I'm not gonna allow just anybody to dwell with me or live with me or with next to me.
Yeah.
Um, and that sometimes that might mean you have to move. Like if
Yeah.
you're in a bad situation, like practically speaking, like in a horrible place, your neighbor is some weirdo, whatever. If they're not going to leave, like you might just have to put a for sale sign up in the yard and say, as for me and my house, we out of here. So
Yeah. No, that's really good, man. And I think too, it's crazy to think that like we would just do it upon ourselves, but like I think because we have kids and families, it's like as a man, you kind of know what you want your surroundings to be, and I don't know what happens like when you have a kid, or like all of a sudden, like, I feel like when like, pre-kid, you're kind of like, or at least I was relatively chill. But like after I had kids, it was like something I was like mindful of, like, like I don't want my kids around that, or I don't want, even like with me and Marjorie, like not that, I mean, I went to church to like a little bit before I got married, and so did Marjorie. But like as soon as Gavin showed up, I'm like, I want my kid to go to church. I want him to see his parents go to church. I want him to have church friends. Like I want him to know his pastor. I want his pastor to know him.
yeah,
Like, and it's almost like because I had a son, I wanted to like I just wanted him to have good things. It's like what's better than going to church, knowing your pastor, having church friends, like being in a community of believers that, like according to the book should be, pretty close. And yeah, like that's exactly what I wanted versus the other side of it was just like, like I don't want them to like not have that covering, I want them to have that covering so that they can succeed in this life to the best of their ability. And it's like life's already hard, but like having the favor of God doesn't hurt
right.
anybody, like it's a great thing to have, you know?
Yeah, I think, and I don't, I'm saying this knowing that I'm very fortunate, like where I live.
Yeah.
But I look back, because I did public school, private school, Christian school, homeschool. Like I've run the whole gamut, and then went
Yeah.
to like a secular college and grad school. The the times that I got in trouble, as a kid in the neighborhood, like I was fortunate. I had some great friends. They were Christians. Like our
Mhm.
families knew each other and all that stuff. But you can't control every kid in that neighborhood. So it's like the the stories you would hear, the joke, and going to like a public school as a third grader, fourth grader, or whatever. Um, so I think it is important. Like I hear parents sometimes they're like, "Well, I want my kid to be a light, so I'm going to put them, whatever in a public school." If that's what you
Uh,
have to do, like you pray for your children. Like I went to a public school. I'm not faulting my parents for that. Like it's just what we had to do at that time. But if you have the ability to protect your children, you know, I think about like these goats back behind the house. When those
yeah.
moms have those babies, they're about to have the babies because they disappear. They go find
Yeah.
like a thicket, like in the backside of nowhere, and they have those babies, and it's like a couple of days, and then they might like bring them out a little bit, but you've got to like go
Yeah.
back in there and find them. They're not worried about, well, I don't want my goat kid to be weird because they're not socialized, or I don't want them to like, not know enough about the internet that they can't get a job or something. Like all these
Yeah.
things I've heard from well-meaning people that are like, oh, your kid's too sheltered or whatever. And it's like they're going to get enough of the world eventually. Like I promise you that.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
right now, my job is to be that goat mama that's protecting the kid in the thicket. And then as they get
No,
a
for
little
sure.
older, I bring them out and introduce them to the dogs, and then I introduce them to the pigs, and then
Yeah.
as they tolerate it, as their spiritual maturity is there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, practically, I think parents especially, they've got to be so careful about what. And now, now with the internet, it's like those kids at 10 years old are exposed to more than I was as a 18-year-old, and it's like
No, yeah. Yeah.
instant.
No, I mean the place where Gavin went to school, which he went to a really good school, private school, Christian school, but like the area that I was always nervous about was like when the kids would go like on their bathroom break, and all of a sudden all the little boys who are like literally in first, second grade have these like iPhones or these like, phones that are like they're phones, and I don't know
Yeah.
what their parent I don't know if their parents put parental controls, but like, I would be so angry if my kid was exposed to something
Yeah.
in a Christian boys' bathroom. I mean, to the point where like I'm not gonna say I would like want to like get up in the dad's face, but like I would be upset. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, um, and that was my biggest fear. It was just like other kids' phones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like other kids' phones. And their parents are like, whatever, it's okay. Like they're not doing that stuff. And I'm just like, you have no idea the rabbit holes you can get led to on YouTube. You have no idea like what one little thing can lead to. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and then what's crazy too is like with homeschooling, it's like it's not like 1990s homeschooling. Like I feel like you are like an OG because you went to homeschooling before it was cool. But now there's so many outlets and there's so many programs, and there's so many curriculums, and like it's so crazy how tailored you can make the experience whatever you think is best because there's so many options.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the government's on your side as well. Like there's all these government programs that are pro homeschool, and it's like it's not what it was 15, 20 years ago. It's like
Yeah.
you can tailor it however you want, and it's like, and then you get to spend more time with your kids, which is nice. Um, but no, it's really good. It says, mine eyes shall look upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all the wicked doers from the city, Lord. Man, that's another like parallel, dude. Like
Yeah.
just talking like I will destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all the wicked doers from the city of the Lord, which is so terrifying.
Hmm.
You know,
Yep.
like I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get in, dude. I want to like
Yeah.
have my new perfect bod, whatever that looks like. I want to toil and dig holes where it's like perfect soil, perfect environment, perfect like temperature. And then I get to do a perfect job, and God's like, you're doing great, boy. Like you did a good job.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm excited. And there's a part of me too, man, that's like stoked about that. Like I'm just my sister said this is super messed up. And I'm like, it's not messed up. I'm like, I'm just, but like there's a song called like I'll Fly Away by something Allen. He's a country guy, country singer. But he has a gospel track, and it's like real
Hmm.
country, like real like banjo-y, and it's like that hymn, and it's like I'll Fly Away. Um, and I'm like, this is what I want you to play at my funeral, dude. Because like I don't want y'all to screw up my funeral. So play this song. I don't care what you play after, but like, make sure this song hits the playlist. You know what I'm saying? And it's a celebration. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
I'll fly away. I'm not gonna, you know. Um, but yeah, man, it's like I want my kids to know that I'm excited to see the Lord. I want them to know that like, yeah, death is kind of scary, but like, bro, like where we're going is so much better, and it's such a nice place. And I'll be here as long as God allows me to be. Like I'm definitely not trying to clock out early, by no means. But dude, if I'm hitting 70, 80 years old, you know, and I can't wake up with a feeling good because my body's all shot, and I can't have hot sauce anymore because my doctor says it's bad for me, and I can't, mow the lawn like I wanted to, or I'm like, bro, like I'm gonna be with the Lord, man. Like be happy, like be sad if you. I'm not saying you can't be like that, but just be joyful because I'm gonna be with the Lord, man. Like my best friend, like the one who I just love dearly, and but yeah. So what did you what's something that you pulled out of this? Would you say?
I just think the all the practical things to try to apply, to your family. So I think I definitely pulled out more of the practical,
Yeah,
kind of the protection of the home environment.
yeah, that's good. I like the froward word. I think I'm gonna start using that. Be like, get that froward heart out of here, dude. Like thing's not doing good. But no, I like the fact that like David started off like this. I mean, he didn't. I mean, dude, he did his thing, bro. Like, obviously, my life would be like people would be like, this guy's an idiot, if they wrote. Oh snap! But yeah, that would be just that David started off good. But all right, guys. Well, that's gonna be it for today. But hope you all have a good day. And yeah, we'll talk tomorrow. Hope everybody has a good Tuesday before Thanksgiving. All right. See you guys.